This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'll recap the racing action at Saratoga from July 10th through 13th. So for Thursday, July 10th, it was fast and firm, the only day with those conditions. No front-running winners on the main track. Flavien Prat guided home 3 winners. Jose Ortiz had a couple of route winners, and George Weaver saddled 2 turf sprint winners. So for the stakes recaps for July 10th, there were 2 divisions of the De La Rose Stakes at 1 mile on the inner turf course. The first division was the slower division, and it had the much slower fractions. And in that first division, In Our Time was able to stalk outside and, sitting in second, take the lead, but was outfinished by the inside stalker, Deep Satin, paid $6.70 as the betting favorite. And Jose Ortiz rode the winner for trainer Cherie DeVoe. And she won by a neck, and In Our Time was second, and In Our Time ended up finishing a neck in front of Heredia. And Heredia is one to watch next time because the race flow was definitely against her. The fractions in this race, 24.33, 49.30, 113.33. The final time, 135.49. This race set up for the stalkers, and Heredia was coming from off the pace. I think she can go better with a different race flow next time out. In the second division of the De La Rose, a much faster pace, 1 mile on the inner turf course there, 23.74, 47.51, 111.35, and then 134.25 with the final time, and Spinning Colors from the outside post, stretching out in distance, was setting those fractions from the outside post, and she was right there for a long time. And then Moving On Up was the favorite, and she chased the pace, and then Ozara from the inside post was stalking on saving ground. And then Moving On Up did come after Spinning Colors, but Ozara was able to go past both of those runners and win by a half length at 4-to-1 odds, paying $10.20. Spinning Colors did hold off Moving On Up for the runner-up spot. And Dylan Davis rode the winner for trainer Miguel Clement. July 10th, we saw some claims. Devil in Disguise is one worth watching off the claim for Rudy Rodriguez. He spent $50,000 for this one, and Devil in Disguise was one of my top choices, the big favorite, and did win on Thursday. And then another horse to watch off the claim, Best Impression, claimed by Linda Rice for $17,500. My full card highlights: I didn't have a great day on Thursday. I had back-to-back top choice winners to start the card. I was on a roll early with a 7-2 winner in the first race plus the exacta, and then Devil in Disguise, the favorite in the second race. I had that early double, and then the double after that, and then the early pick 3. But then I fell apart after that, didn't have a good day the rest of the way. Now for Saratoga for Friday, July 11th, fast main track and good turf course. But on this day, 4 of the turf races were moved to the main track, races 4, 6, 9, and 10. And we saw 1 front-running winner at 1 mile and an eighth on the main track. Riding doubles for the Ortiz brothers, Jose and Irad. For Irad, both winners on dirt, and for Jose, 7 furlong dirt sprints for both of his winners. The stakes recap: the one stakes race they had was the Grade 3 Coronation Cup, the one race that stayed on the turf course, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. And we saw Spirited Boss Scratch along with the 3 main track only entrants. And pace made the race in this race because 6 horses broke from the gate. My top choice was Make Haste from the inside post under Flavien Prat. I thought she would be able to get out there and control the pace, but Chloe went right out with her, and they set some wicked fractions: 20.99, 44.07, and they set it up for the off-the-pace runners, and Italian Soiree at 14-1, paying $31.20, sat behind the dueling leaders and won by a length. Laurice was second, and Abiento, rallying from off the pace, having the race flow in her favor, completed the trifecta. And then Chloe got her Brazil, and Make Haste rounded out the top 6 finishers there. And Luis Saez did ride the winner for trainer John Terranova in that final time, 102.21 seconds. But maybe you can take a look at Chloe and even Make Haste in another race if the pace is different and they're able to get out there and control the pace, because they just cooked each other on the front end here. 3 horses were claimed, including Bourbon Serengeti for $50,000 out of race 2 for trainer Linda Rice. Much better day on the full card. I had 4 top choice winners: Golden Purchase at 2-1 in the opener, 2-1 in the third race, Pineapple Man, and then I had Gaia del Fuego in the 8th, and then Super Times in the 10th race. I had a bunch of doubles and pick 3s as well. So a solid day on the full card for Friday. Saratoga recap for Saturday, July 12th. We had a sloppy sealed main track and a good turf course on the melon course, and then the yielding turf on the inner turf course. So they had those two turf courses at Saratoga, and they ran the stakes races on those, but the four other races that weren't stakes races were taken off the turf and moved onto the main track, races 5, 6, 9, and 12. And a much more speed favoring track on Saturday. We saw 5 front running winners on the wet main track at 6 furlongs, 1 mile, 5.5 furlongs, mile and an eighth, and 7 furlongs. So 5 different distances we saw front runners. So it was a speed friendly main track. Jose Ortiz had 4 winners on Saturday, including 3 dirt sprints. Jarrod Ortiz Jr., he won 3 dirt sprint races, and Flavien Prat and Joao Rosario both had 2 winners. Chad Brown saddled 2 route winners, and Flavien Prat rode both of those, and Linda Rice saddled 2 winners. The stakes recaps, they were both graded stakes races. The Grade 2 Bowling Green at 1 mile and 3/8 on the inner turf course, and that course was yielding. And we saw Corruption, Starting Over, Tawny Port, and Web Slinger scratch, along with the 3 main track only entrants. That left a 4-horse field. And the heavy favorite was Farbridge, and Tucson was the clear early leader, and Farbridge was chasing that one, took over when asked. It was able to open up by more than 5 lengths in the stretch, and he was geared down, and he won easily by 3 lengths. I picked El Razine as my value top choice, and that one rallied to finish second there. So he was last for quite some time. He was able to rally and finish a clear second. Harrow was third, and Tucson weakened to last after setting the pace. And Joao Rosario rode the winner from Miguel Clement, and the fractions were 24.44, 48.66, 114.83. Final time, 215.38. The Sword Dancer is next for Farbridge. The Grade 1 Diana, I did a video on this one, and my top choice did win. And this was 1 mile and an eighth on the Melon turf course. Be Your Best scratch. That left the field of 5, and Be Your Best was expected to set the pace, but when she was out, the race shape changed. Choicia was able to make the early lead. That was expected. Excellent Truth, my top choice, was able to track from second. I think that was the key to success there. Getting Excellent Truth out to 1 mile and an eighth, like I said in my video. I said 1 mile was too short for her last time. She wanted to go 1 mile and an eighth, 1 mile and a quarter. You get her in these kind of races. That's what she wants to do. And she was able to show nice tactical speed in here. Sitting from second, a heavy favorite in this race was She Feels Pretty. And she was sitting in third under John Velasquez. And then we saw Dynamic Pricing and Lady Claypool trailing early. But the race flow was definitely favoring Excellent Truth here. And she was able to turn up the pressure around the turn. She Feels Pretty followed her and was able to get the lead, a short lead in the stretch. But then she bumped with Excellent Truth. Excellent Truth was able to come again in this race and defeat She Feels Pretty by a head. So this was a good effort from Excellent Truth. Paid $8 in this 5-horse field. Nice value there. And She Feels Pretty was clearly second best. Dynamic Pricing was able to nip Choicia for the show honors, and then Lady Claypool trailed throughout in here. Flavien Prat rode the winner for Chad Brown, and Chad Brown dominates the Diana. This was his 10th Diana victory. And the fraction to this race, 23.48, 48.52, 112.61. They went 1 mile and 135.55, 1 mile and an eighth, 147.37. No claims on the card on Saturday. And for my full card highlights, I had 3 top choice winners. Mallard Chuck for Chad Brown had that one. I was able to get the exacta with Farbridge and El Razine. That was one of my better bets plays of the day. And then Gilded Kraken, Lone Speed, when they moved the race over to the main track in race 9, he was my top choice. Was able to wire the field. And then Excellent Truth, my best bet on the card, paying $8, had the exacta there with She Feels Pretty. A lot of other things too, doubles and pick threes. I was able to hit the pick 4, races 6 through 9, the Grand Slam, races 8 through 11, the late double, and then also 5 out of 6 in the pick 6. So I gave that pick 6 a run as well. So for the recap for Sunday, July 13th, fast main track, good turf course. Now 4 races were moved to the main track, races 2, 4, 7, and 10. We saw 2 front-running winners on the main track at 1 mile and an eighth and 1 mile. And we saw Jarrod Ortiz Jr. win 3 races, 2 sprint races. Todd Pletcher saddled 3 winners, including 2 maiden special weight winners, and Linda Rice saddled 2 winners on the main track. We saw some claims again, and another one I want to watch from Linda Rice. She claimed Adventurous, one of my top choice winners from race 3. She claimed that one for 20,000. So I want to keep an eye on Adventurous now in the Linda Rice barn. She's going well at the current meet. She's claiming some horses to run them at Saratoga, and I think that some of these recent claims that she has made will probably run well in the coming weeks. Stakes recap for July 13th, the grade 3 quick call, 5.5 furlongs on turf. Now, Grayscale was my original top choice. That one was a stake scratch, along with Main Track Only, Soon to Be King, and Ortley Avenue was out there setting the pace. That was from the outside post, but she could not go with Governor Sam. Governor Sam, the heavy favorite here. This one was able to chase from second, take over the lead, and win by 3.5 lengths. I read Ortiz Jr. in the irons. George Weaver was the trainer, and I mentioned that George Weaver earlier in the week had a couple of turf sprint winners, and here he was again with another one here. Plus, I read Ortiz Jr. had a good week overall, along with Jose Ortiz, Flavian Pratt, as well as Linda Rice. So for this one, Ortley Avenue did hold second. No Evidence was my top choice, ended up finishing third, just finishing a nose over Insubordination. And the fraction is 21.71, 44.68, final time 102.68. Full card highlights, really good day on the full card. Now, when I do these full cards, and when I was doing them at Saratoga the last couple of weeks, I'm going to switch over to Del Mar starting next week. When I do these full cards, the morning of each race day, I update all of my tickets after scratches. And I had a lot of updates to do this week because of all of the surface switches and all of the scratches that they had all week long at Saratoga. And for this day, I was able to have 5 top choice winners. Class Assist in the first race at 2-1, Adventurist in race 3, Scarlet's Halo in race 4, Paxational, my better bets play of the day, and my best bet on the card was able to win in race 5, and then Gone and Forgotten in race 8. Had a bunch of doubles and pick 3s as well, a few exactas, a trifecta, and then I ended up having some pick 4s. I had some good success in the pick 4s. I was able to have 3 pick 4s on the day and a pick 5 as well. So very good day on that Sunday full card. And hopefully I can keep this full card momentum going throughout the summer. Del Mar and Saratoga, I'm going to be doing some Saturday full cards at Saratoga. I'll mention that in a little while. And then, as I said, I'm going to be switching over to Del Mar for their entire summer meet. So for the July 16th through 20th at Saratoga, I'll preview those days. And Saratoga's offering stakes races all 5 days. So they're going to be running 5 days, July 16th through 20th. And I looked at the weather, and it looks a little bit unsettled again, just like it was this week. We'll have to see how all that does play out. But for July 16th, they have the Susie O'Kane Stakes for New York Breds. July 17th, the Rick Violet Stakes, New York Breds. July 18th, the Grade 2 Chuvy. July 19th, the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. And for July 20th, the Grade 2 Honorable Miss Stakes. And if you're interested in past performances from all of the big meets this summer, today's Racing Digest has a summer special going on right now. You can get unlimited access to all of the Today's Racing Digest products from now through September 7th, including complete digests. You get the fast figs, the race sheets, the fractional charting for Del Mar, Saratoga, Gulfstream, Monmouth, Woodbine, and more. Over $1,500 in value, just $199. You have no limits, every check, every race day. So go to today'sracingdigest.com for more details, and I will include a link to this offer in the video description below. And I'm going to be covering some of the Saratoga Stakes races on my channel this week, like the Chuvy and the Coaching Club American Oaks. I'll be using some Today's Racing Digest past performances and data in those videos, so stay tuned for those. And I also will have a lot of news and stakes analysis from Del Mar and Saratoga on my channel this summer. And Del Mar starts their summer meet this week, July 18th. The Haskell Stakes also at Monmouth is coming up on July 19th. And Journalism is probably going to be the favorite in that race. If you're interested in my full card analysis, I'm covering full cards this summer, the entire Del Mar summer meet from July 18th through September 7th, plus select Saturdays at Saratoga on their bigger Saturday cards coming up. So go to therunawayhorse.com on my shop page for my full card schedule and to purchase my full card products, and I will include a link to that shop page in the video description below. You can pre-purchase my Del Mar analysis now for July 18th through 20th. I'll email my analysis 1 to 2 days before race day, and I will update tickets after scratches the morning of each race day. And if you want a free pick each day, Go over to therunawayhorse.com and click on the Better Bets Free Picks tab at the top of my homepage. You'll get a free pick from around the country each day. Like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.